What's going on, guys? It's Colin here for NextGenTactics, and I'm bringing you some PS3 gameplay. And this is some Conquest on Eureka Harbor, and I know that I've covered that fairly recently, but wanted to get you guys some PS3 footage and let you know what's going on and what I've been up to and why no videos this week and what my plans are. So, and to get your feedback as always on what my plans are before I carry on. And in this game, I was running with a couple of friends. Actually, we were sort of an international crew. I was running with a friend from Norway and buddy Ghost6 from Brazil. So we had actually hooked up via Twitter, decided to get into a squad and play. So here you can kind of see my opening route to B. I like to kind of slow down and watch that right-hand flank in the hopes that my team just kind of runs up the middle and shoots any enemies that come from the left. And we do a bit of house cleaning around B. And this isn't a very competitive game. I didn't have the chance to play too many rounds on PS3, and there was a lot of lag. So what I will say about PS3 versus Xbox is that I tend to get laggier games on PS3, and lag in the sense that sometimes the game is laggy and not responsive, but I also get frame rate drops on PS3, which don't happen as often on Xbox. So I guess that's one downside, but when you get right down to it, there are a ton of ways to compare and contrast, and really, you know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. And I will do a bit more discussion around gaming platforms once I've had the chance to cut my teeth on the PC and bring you guys some footage. So I did order a PC, as many of you already know, and next week when I get the PC I will share the specs with you, put the video together, and I'll start a series where I discuss making the transition from console to PC, because I know that a lot of people are interested in that prior to Battlefield 3, because that's the lead development platform for Battlefield 3, and I think that it's going to be the most complete experience is going to be on PC, and it will be a scaled down version of the game for consoles, and you know, fewer players, smaller maps, that sort of thing. And I want to experience everything that DICE puts into it, and unfortunately console technology can't do that, so we're going PC. What I will do is, if I can figure out the whole recording workflow, and I know that I have to get Fraps set up, not so concerned about recording, a little bit more concerned about the editing process, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. I will record my first matches on PC, and maybe I'll do live commentaries over them, I don't know, and I will keep posting these matches until I actually get one with a positive KD where I'm playing the objective as well. Like, I'm not going to sit back and camp to get a positive KD in a game, but I think it'll be amusing to see how badly I do, and many of you are very interested in seeing how badly I do. Now, I want to set the stage a little bit for some of the tactics I'm going to get up to in this game. We have those guys all capped, and there are snipers sitting back on the cliffs by their deployment. So that sort of gameplay, that usually means for me that the gloves are off, and if you're going to sit back in your spawn, then I'm going to come to you. Now, normally that's not necessarily not the best honorable play style, but I don't care. When a team's not going to push and try and cap flags and win, I don't want to sit here until their tickets bleed out, and I don't feel like counter sniping, so I'm going to rush them. And that's what I do. And unfortunately, there's some collateral damage when I do that. I shoot a few innocent victims that are attempting to actually push out of their spawn as I try and go pick these snipers off on the cliff. And actually, I get owned by one of the snipers here in a little bit. So anyway, that's kind of how the game went down. But it wasn't bad, and I'm running the XM8 prototype, which again is my favorite assault rifle. And I'm sure that some of you are going to complain because I'm not using the iron sights. Well, I decided that because these guys were sitting back so far, I wanted to run the XM8, but I find it's a challenge to get on target when they're way far away with the iron sights. I can do pretty well with it at most ranges, but when they're way back there, I like to have the red dot on, and so I used it. And I'm running the 40mm grenade as well, which is, I don't think I use it much at all in this game. I probably could have gone with my shotgun setup, but because the XM8 is so devastating up close as well, I mean, it's a great all-around multi-purpose weapon. I don't need the 40mm shotgun as much. I like running the 40mm underbarrel shotgun on something like an M16 that doesn't shine as well in close quarters, but the XM8, it's an all-around beast, so you can use whatever you want. And if I'm playing Rush and I want smoke grenades, then this is my favorite gun to run smoke grenades on for sure. So right here, I'm just trying to clean up the cliff, and this pissed me off. I go and try and knife the Wookiee, and he turned and got me. And he was actually looked like he was 90 degrees to me, but because of the lag and all that good stuff, he got me. So I should have shot him. I should have just shot him, but I didn't. I got greedy going for the tags. And they're going to spawn back in, and I keep pushing at them a couple of times here. And as you'll notice later on, I push into their spawn, and I'm shooting campers up in the back part of the map, even though they aren't all capped. So I'm not necessarily spawn killing them. They have the option to spawn somewhere else. They just choose to sit here and snipe and camp on the ridge. So I can see my squad mates have pushed up a little further than I'd like to. I prefer not to go right into their spawn. I don't like that. That's not how I like to play it. But sometimes, you know, if the rest of the team gets up to that sort of thing, that's the only way you can get kills. But I'd rather actually, if a team wants to push, I'd rather back up and let them take their near flag at least, so that the game stays interesting. Because being up and around this area and just shooting people as they spawn, it's not very fun. And right here, I probably shouldn't have shot him. I'm sorry. So to any innocent victims that got shot while I was up here trying to clean out Wookiees, I apologize. And right here I'm just going to get mowed down. So they've actually pushed out and taken C. So they're not all capped. There's no need to keep spawning back there. And we're kind of doing them a favor by cleaning them out, because, you know, now they can actually spawn in the action and go cap some flags. And maybe it'll be an interesting game. But unfortunately, you know, if you're passive and the other team manages to slowly capture the flags and basically tighten the chokehold on you, then it becomes impossible. So I do want to talk a little bit about playstyles and, you know, how you play different types of games, or different game types, I should say, because different types of games, I could be talking like MMOs or FPSs. I'm talking about different game modes within an FPS. And I talked on my channel a little bit about people complaining that I was playing squad deathmatch, but I was doing that because I was just playing for kills. I wanted to rank up some weapons, get some stars, hit level 50 on the Xbox. So that's exactly what I was doing. I was just getting kills, and when I just want to get kills, I go to deathmatch, because that's the objective. I don't like to run into Conquest and trap them in their base and play, you know, deathmatch or play for kills in an objective game type. Kills kind of happen as a byproduct of playing the game type correctly, in my opinion. But I don't. If I just want to focus on chillaxing and shooting people, then I like deathmatch for that. But again, I'm not exclusively a deathmatch player. I like all the game modes, and squad rush is sometimes a little bit boring, but I'll play it for a laugh every now and then. And it seems that the matchmaking, when it screws up, it'll kick me out into a hardcore squad rush server, and I'll see it through. And right now I'm pushing up because there were guys up on the left-hand side. Sorry, their left, our right. They were camping up in the rocks and shooting at us with LMGs, so I just wanted to clean off the ridge and unfortunately shoot a few people as they spawn. But they are not all capped. They are not all capped at all. There's no need for them to be spawning back at their deployment, other than to kind of hang out on this cliff. It also gives them the closest route to get to try and capture Charlie as well. So that could have been what they're up to, but as you can see, a couple of these guys are just kind of sitting back. So I'm going to clean them up and then get back into the action. Once again, if you are one of the people that I shot up there, I apologize. Just that Wookiee was driving me nuts. I had to deal with him. And I didn't want to try and face him head on with an XM8. So he has the advantage, and I get a flank around behind him. That's how she goes. And I'm not pushed right up, but they pretty much can't get out of spawn right now if they had to, you know, spawn at their deployment, which they don't, because they're not all capped. So I don't quite understand why they kept doing that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Playing the different game types, playing them quote-unquote correctly. Are you okay with players hopping into Conquest and being the Slayer role? Or do you prefer having teammates that are playing on the objectives like a champ? You need both, really. You need both. But if you're not communicating with a squad and you decide, well, I'm going to be the Slayer, unless you're talking to other people, nobody really can nominate you as the Slayer. So, I mean, my approach is to basically try and be a sort of all-purpose player. I'll go cap flags if need be, and if we have them captured, I'll push up and try and kill some enemies and that sort of thing. So I don't stick to one role or the other, and then that's kind of how I play Rush as well. Now, I actually did get some games in the other night, just perchance who hooked up on Twitter with Gerbiscon, who's one of the NGT Games directors as well, and we had a good time. And I wound up just the way it played out, being a spawn point quite a bit in Rush. And normally if I'm playing with my regular group of guys, we take turns. Like one guy will spawn in and make a run at the objective, and, you know, somebody will wait and stay alive, and if they're not successful, then the person who sat there waiting, he'll make a run at it. We kind of rotate and just sort of play these multi-purpose roles. Now, obviously, if you need a kit-specific loadout, like a medic or an engineer, then somebody's going to be specific to that kit. But when it comes to our play style, we tend to like to mix it up and kind of be jacks of all trades, and that's how I like to play. Now, if you are working with a team and somebody has to get up close and personal, then it's typically a good idea to actually send the person who has the best connection to do that. If you are lagging and you have a connection disadvantage and yet you're the one on the front line trying to rush, then you may not have the best of results if you do that. So that's something to think about, but I personally prefer to play a variety of different roles in a game. Here you can see I'm trying to help cap the base, and I'll push up and take some tickets by killing the enemies, etc. So I like to mix it up. But players who completely ignore the objective, I find that frustrating. And obviously, a lot of people make the argument that you played the game, you paid for the game, you can play it how you want, you play it to have fun. But if you sit back and snipe and you allow your team to get all capped and then push back into your spawn, well, maybe you're having fun sitting on a ridge taking pot shots, but your teammates probably aren't having a whole lot of fun as they try and rush out of spawn and get mowed down. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Can you play it however you want in order to maximize your own fun? Or should you pay attention to the game type that you're playing and kind of respect that a little bit so that the rest of the people that you're playing with can also have a good time also? I gotta not talk so much on Friday afternoons. Anyway, what do you think? I know I've rambled. PC coverage to come, some collaborations with some other NGT directors to come. Decent KD game. It wasn't a hugely challenging game, but I thought I'd bring you some PS3 footage anyway. So hope you all have a good long weekend. I will be back early next week. I'm hoping my PC shows up on Monday so I can get to work, and I'll play some campaign. I'll play some single player in order to get my settings nailed down, but I won't play and practice too much. Don't worry. You will see the newbie me in multiplayer. So hope you're looking forward to that, and I will definitely share my PC specs. Cheers, guys. We'll talk soon.
Looking for an awesome free game to play? Try War Inc. Battlezone with tons of weapons, equipment, and highly customizable characters. Sign up now and receive exclusive NGT bonus items such as 10,000 gamer points, 30-day rental of the XM8 assault rifle, and 14-day rental of the 2x XP boost item. Click the link in the description to download this awesome shooter game now, absolutely free.